Yo, 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 is this thing on? Breaker, how do you read me, good buddy? Get your ears on, because it's your first lesson with Captain Dave, who, might I add, did not bounce the $20 check, so we all good, my brother. We find ourselves now listening to a lecture fashion through a fire engine headset. As a firefighter's main communication tool while responding to an emergency, the headset is something to master. Captain Dave will overmodulate, pop his P's, mumble, stumble, and maybe spittle, but it is only to reinforce the immersive environment. So here we go, week 1 with Captain Dave.
Hey, welcome back. It's week 1. You're off to a great start here on your journey to become a firefighter. This one is called Habits and Hoarding, and in this lesson we'll outline what's needed to excel at both readiness for the test and the role of being a hero. I'll tell you why it's important. Sleep. Solid sleep-wake cycles not only improve your health, they also reduce mistakes. Learn what they are and how to time your efforts. The certification and record-keeping system is essential for maintaining qualifications. If something expires, you could be out of a job. Third, mastery of any subject will become easier with an improved learning system. Don't learn the painful lesson of missing out because you zigged when you should have zagged. Neglecting self-oversight may ultimately crystallize into destructive behavior. Take command of what you have control over, namely yourself. Self-dominance is key to your success. Discipline, which is what you'll need. Taking control of your time and energy will prove to become the most pivotal actions you've ever made. Start hardening hero habits now. You will be able to answer these questions. What will I need for class? How can I reduce errors? When should I begin? And what makes a better learner? Study yourself. Be an honest observer. Just watch what you do. Keep mental notes because they may reveal your weaknesses. What do 24 hours offer? Considering minutes give birth to other minutes, we can categorize each moment as something new. How did you spend each of these something news? Let's time out a day. Start with 24 hours. You got 8 hours for sleep, that's a must. You got another 8 hours for if you're in work or school. So that's 16 hours. You're left with 8 hours. If you organize things right, 4 hours per day are available. This is ample time to focus on your goals. You get about 2 hours of undesignated time to do whatever you please. Was that time spent for pleasure or improvement? Most reasonable people would agree enough minutes exist outside of work, school, sleep, and prepping for them. There's enough of those to improve your situation. And if you reflect, what did you do? Did you play an app or did you read something smart? Did you think about items out of your control or concentrate on your next goal? Each moment of discretion will bring decisions. How did you choose the way you forced vigilance, eventually easing into habituation? The observer's responsibility is to count how each discretionary minute gets utilized. Success appears after recognizing opportunities in each of these something news, and most importantly, acting on them. Did you not do it because an easier path was taken? Be honest with yourself. The observer determines if your focus is utility or hedonism, pain or pleasure, vegetables or dessert. Your internal animal wants ease and relaxation. Listen to it. Your habits sustain one decision over the other. Habits become your default behavior. If you realize how little time is actually free, could you be strong enough to change into healthier habits? Therefore, your first item to hoard is time. No time wasted when working to elevate yourself from the back. To become exceptional, you'll need to budget each moment. If you want to get into the fire service, then guard each minute as an opportunity. The time spent sleeping. In the book Lights Out, Sleep, Sugar, and Survival, We learn the loss of sleep deteriorates blood vessels, contributes towards obesity, depression, and bad decision making. The information you'll get from reading and reviewing Lights Out can save your life. But if we add one more unrelated book to the arsenal, we can also save someone else's life. Surgeon and author Atul Gawande's Checklist Manifesto may not seem like a page turner on the surface, but if you dig into it, you soon learn the language of emergency service. The world of 911 operates on checklists, and if you learn the flow, you'll get better when it's time to go. 2 hero habits come from this revelation: checklists and REM. The rapid eye movement refers to the quality of sleep in which your body is most at rest, and the checklist is for the times that you don't get enough. Enough sleep and checklists can save lives. Both are credited for a majority of smooth plane landings and successful brain surgeries. Budget your waking time for hero studies each day. Monitor productivity and moods for peaks and troughs. Once a time slot for reading reveals itself, read. When the mood perfect for physical fitness happens upon you, do it. Repetition leads to habituation. Over time, not doing it feels weird, so make it count. This way, you can maintain the vigilance needed to carry past setbacks. Another note on repetition: there's magical memory retention from it. We recommend flashcards as a means of brain push-ups. Flashcards strengthen your ability to recall important information when you need it the most. Here's an example. Calculate pediatric dosages of dangerous medications for a seizing baby at 2 a.m. with a screaming mother in your ear. Well, thank God for flashcards. For lasting recall, try this 3-step process for memorization. Recite, reduce, relate. Recitation of an order or statement is a means of acknowledging active listening. What you then repeat back is a condensed form of the original statement or order. State the important stuff only. That's the reduction part. Your interpretation of what gets emphasized is in itself a form of communication. It tells the sender whether you got the message or not. This works in the following exchange. If you have a sender over the radio tell you to avoid access through the D sides because of an electrical hazard, and your response back was this: copy, access through the D side, it's telling the sender how a message was received, which in this case requires immediate correction. The sender said avoid access, and your response was, I copied that, I'm going to make access through it. And the reason why you should have avoided it was an electrical hazard. So the sender hears that the wrong message was sent. So now, if both people are good listeners, you can avoid a catastrophe. A good way to remember something is to personalize it so that it sticks. So a better approach is to use things that trigger memory. So if you get that correction needed, you have to internalize it and say something like, if I go to the D side, I'll shock my hind side. Relating something to a personalized memory trigger is an ancient method for storing massive amounts of forgettable stuff. The technique we employ here is inspired by the book Moonwalking with Einstein, and it's a way to master memorization. Using your imagination, create a house or palace that you will remember. Childhood home, favorite treehouse, temple of Burning Man, anything works if you can remember it. This mental palace construct was a technique used for thousands of years. It allows people to remember pieces of information like serial numbers, religious scrolls, decks of cards, or even pi. It's an imaginary residence you create for placing items needed for memorization. Symbols, words, relatives' names, or anything else that can quickly be associated with important stuff are placed somewhere findable. Recalling imagery in mental rooms works much better than rote your boat style, but it requires practice. What have you learned so far? Timing your days for the best when. When are you going to do it? Sleeping solid, waking up fresh and early, hoarding minutes, flashcards, and opportunities, making recitations, mental rooms, and one last thing, notepads or journals. You becoming a paid hero will require an ability to convey thoughts accurately with words, both spoken and written. Proficiency takes time and practice. Start immediately. If asked to enter something into your journal, write meaningful and legible words. Only you will see it. To repeat, whatever written by your hand goes digital in a safe place. Having your files organized and backed up becomes useful when multiple qualifications or certifications are at risk of expiration. Some job requirements do not allow for grace periods or overlap. The now unqualified employee is told to go home and wait for punishment, which could include termination. Positioning fire engines, ambulance, and important files, you always use a backer.
For the next lesson, we discuss how you can actually get hired in a fire department.